from what I can understand from the kind of practice that we've seen of you, there's like a very constant involvement of the Eurocentric nature. And I
Uh-huh.
think even the sub themes that you're discovering within your work all
Mm-hmm.
kind of flow through this channel of the Eurocentric. So we're also
Mm-hmm.
really curious to know how that kind of plays a role in your practice and how that came to be. How did you realize that that's something that you wanted to focus on?
Mm-hmm. I mean, one question would be, what do we mean by Eurocentric? Because I don't think I'm a European, or I don't come from Europe, but I
Hmm.
grew up very Eurocentric. I studied Eurocentric.
Hmm.
Like in Turkey, we really it was a Eurocentric arts, like everything we studied, I studied everything that you try to do. Your life, your personal life is even Eurocentric, like trying to be something else.
Right.
And this was also, so when I moved, when I was a migrant, it was not a big surprise, because I was already following this and trying to fit in that Eurocentric artistic frame.
Right.
I studied like that. I
Hmm.
mean, the concept that I come from is just like that the culture becomes secular, but like, having a huge gap and jumping from traditional to contemporary, which is
Hmm.
crazy. Art is Eurocentric.
Hmm.
I mean, I think art belongs to Europe. It's the
Yeah.
market, the people, super white, supermarket, the money, everything is European. I actually say this. And but it doesn't mean that it's the real art or the good art. I don't mean that. It's just meaning the market and everything.
Right. Yeah.
Um, but also the other side of it, the way that if outside of this Eurocentric structure, how the art is used is also very much associated with tokenism. So this also a little bit bothers me. So that's why I try to a little bit get out of this Orientalism subject
Hmm.
a bit.
Yeah.
That I don't want, I mean, I love the work, to be honest. I love doing it. I love belly dancing. I love it so much, to be honest. I enjoy to do it also.
Yeah.
But somehow I don't want to, I didn't want to give space to this tokenism so much. Like
Right.
someone is building a program and asking for, oh, let's have someone who is working like this. And then, okay, this person, rather than the work. And you choose the identity. I don't know, maybe it's super paranoid, but that's a
Mm.
fact.
Yeah. I think we can relate to that quite a bit, especially since we're here, because oftentimes we feel like just because we don't belong to here, because we come from Pakistan, automatically that just becomes something that we're exoticized over, you know,
Exactly.
just
Exactly.
like it doesn't have to be anything else. Like we often notice that if as simple as if we step outside in our traditional dress, like in shalwar kameez,
Mhm.
everybody's just like, whoa, like who are these people?
Mhm. Yeah.
And it just is it feels like an entire different identity altogether and an entire
Yeah.
different perception. And now that you kind of mentioned the belly dancing aspect,
Mhm.
your work titled Oriental Demo is something that, really
Yeah.
caught our eye, especially because um, for us, it was more so the vulnerability of the artist,
Yes.
of,
Yes.
learning
Yes.
during in the white cube space and learning in front of the audience, because I
Mhm.
think that's something that we don't often see. Like
Mhm.
oftentimes when we're going to the gallery or going to the museum, we're ready to see a complete work, which is prim and proper and like framed and kind of
Yeah.
cleansed to the
Yeah.
core.
Yeah.
Um, but it was so refreshing to see that the learning was also happening in front of the viewer.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that is something that really caught our interest. The
Mhm.
demonstration of the professional and, giving the professional the room to
Mhm.
shine instead of the artist kind of always taking that pedestal that, I am
Yeah.
here or
Yeah.
making a mark.
Yeah.
That was also something that was really, really
Mhm.
interesting for us
But that's what we took away from it. We would really like to know that what was the thought behind it? Like, did you want the audience or the viewer to be a part of the process? Was that your intent?
Mhm.
Or were you kind of really wanted to just be in that experience for yourself? What
Mhm.
was what was going on in your head at the time?
Um, so actually, it started. I was never close to perform. I mean, I was doing performances, but usually most like object-based interventions and everything. But after moving to Switzerland, and I'm really engaged to sculpture. I come from sculpture, the form, the object. And then when I moved to Switzerland, I think the only object I had that became was me. I was being objectified constantly, all the time. And I think even like 7 years ago, there were no political correctness or anything. It was even more. It was, I think, in my opinion.